Hey, what's happening, y'all? It's your boy Rico from Street Scores. Just wanted to clear up a lot of the things surrounding Trent Williams right now. A lot of the information may seem a little confusing, so I wanted to make sure I told y'all what everything means and how I feel about everything exactly. So let's go ahead and get to this video. Let's get it. Alright, so let me start off with what started all of this confusion and chaos on Redskins Twitter. Adam Schefter tweeted a statement that came from Trent Williams Agent, Vincent Taylor, the one that put out that workout video when we allowed them to look for trade possibilities. But let me go ahead and tell y'all what the agent said. The relationship between the Redskins and Trent Williams has reached a point where it's in the best interest that the Redskins trade or release him. Despite his knowledge of the differences, Washington was unable or unwilling to negotiate a trade of Williams. The team then gave Williams and his representatives the right to seek trading partners. Williams' representatives provided the team with trading options, but the Redskins have shown no interest in negotiating in good faith and, in fact, have given inconsistent demands on what it wants in return for a trade. Throughout the process, Williams has maintained his silence and not spoken negatively about the team, nor has he pursued potential legal actions. This seems to not be a successful strategy. Players who are outwardly critical of the team do get traded. Although Trent Williams will always love and respect Dan Schneider, his teammates, and the Washington Redskins fans, he wants to be traded or released. It's time for the organization to act in a manner that is in both Williams' and the team's best interest. So that's what Trent Williams' agent, Vincent Taylor, said. And the point about how when players speak outwardly against the Redskins, they end up getting traded. It's kind of like with the Dunbar situation. He kind of has a point there, even though I'm going to talk about it in a little bit more detail later. But it looks like even if Trent Williams speaks out against the team like how Quentin Dunbar did, it's not going to really help the situation. So basically, Vincent Taylor and Trent Williams are accusing the Redskins organization, mostly Ron Rivera and Kyle Smith, because they're the ones that handle most of this stuff, of basically not acting in good faith and actually trying to get Trent Williams traded. They're basically acting like we said we would trade you, but we're not actually even really trying to. We're just ignoring all of the offers that are coming to us. That's basically what Vincent Taylor and them are saying. And it's crazy because this whole Trent Williams drama is still going. Like, this is still a thing.
How, Sway?
Man held out all last season. So what did Dan Schneider do? Get rid of the head coach, bring in a very trustworthy head coach that was recently in a Super Bowl just a few years ago, fire the head trainer and his entire training staff, bring in a trustworthy one, and make up a whole new position for Steve Wilks, for him to advise the team as far as health goes and injuries. He's very well known amongst the exercise science community. Like, he's one of the top guys. Like the Michael Jordan of like exercise science and injury recovery and physical therapy, all of that type of stuff. So Dan Schneider just made up a position just for him so he could come aboard. He got rid of Bruce Allen, who was basically the reason why Trent Williams wasn't already traded for that first round pick that the Browns offered before the trade deadline in October back in 2019. But how do I feel about this? First of all, the Redskins just simply don't want to give Trent Williams away for pennies. That's the reason why Trent Williams hasn't been traded. Teams are offering third round picks or worse. The Redskins want a second round pick or higher, which makes sense because he's an all-pro talent who still has many years ahead of him. And since he had an entire year off, he should be fully healthy going into this season. Ironically, the main thing that's stopping a lot of these trades from happening is that Trent Williams is asking for too much money. Teams aren't going to trade for Trent Williams because they're going to have to give up a second round pick or better. And then after that, they're going to have to pay him his highly demanding $20 million a year. Teams have openly said that they'd be willing to give the Redskins a trade package that the Redskins will be willing to take, but they're not willing to give up all of that value and then after trading for Trent Williams having to turn around and give him so much money per year. They're like, one has to give, and there's no reason for the Redskins to just fold and just give him away for nothing. So it's up to Trent Williams to just accept the fact that he'll get less money per year. If he really wants to get out of Washington, he'll just simply take less money per year, because then a team will be willing to trade for him that day once he just comes out and says that publicly. And I kind of feel sorry for Trent because his agent has misinformed him a lot. Like, I'm not even sure if he knows about the new CBA rules and regulations that have just been incorporated this coming season and off season. I mean, the Redskins hold all of the leverage
Excellent.
Like, one big thing is that Trent Williams doesn't even really have the option to hold out again. Last year when he held out, the Redskins were nice enough to allow that contract to actually count. He was supposed to have 2 more years left in his contract if the Redskins wanted to be petty enough to make last year not even count towards his contract. But now he technically only has 1 year left. But according to the new CBA deal, the Redskins, even if they wanted to, can't do that again. Under the new collective bargaining agreement, a player won't get credit for an accrued year if he fails to report on time to training camp or leaves the team for more than 5 days without permission. So basically, if he were to decide to hold out again, this contract year won't count, and he'll just be in an infinite loop of holding out and never playing and never getting out of his contract. This 2020 contract, if he doesn't play for it, will just carry on to 2021. If he holds out 2021, it would just carry over to 2022. And it's not even like the Redskins even have a say in the matter like last time. Last year, they were nice enough to allow that year to count, even though he didn't play for us at all. But now it's out of the Redskins' control. If Trent Williams holds out, the year doesn't count. Also, a player holding out will be fined $40,000 per day.
What?
And in the past, teams could just waive that off and be like, you're good, you don't have to pay the fines. So say if Trent Williams decided to return to the team last year after missing a lot of training camp, those fines would have piled up, and the Redskins more than likely would have just been nice enough to just waive it off and be like, you're good, you don't have to pay it. But now that's also out of the team's hands. The team is unable to waive that fine now. So for every day that Trent Williams misses, it's a $40,000 fine each day. And the Redskins cannot waive that fine. He will have to pay it. Trent Williams, hey man, I know you think your agent has your best interest at heart, but if he does, he's folding the bag right now for you. I mean, he's putting you in a really ugly position. I mean, you're more than likely about to end up not getting traded. You're going to have to play for the Redskins, and you're going to have to play for less money per year if you choose to resign, which I highly doubt. But you're going to end up playing for less money than you would have gotten if you would have just re-signed with the team when it looked like you were still on good terms with the team when Ron Rivera first got hired and they got rid of Bruce Allen and all of that type of stuff. You would have been making more money per year if you would have re-signed back then than if you would have do it right now, because you have no leverage. The Redskins can literally just hold you hostage for infinity if you just choose not to play. They don't have to trade you. It's not illegal to just not trade you. I mean, Vincent Taylor's really setting you up for failure, bro. I hope you peep game, man. And even funnier to put Trent Williams in an even uglier situation if they really wanted to. Even if he were to play this next season, the Redskins could be petty enough to franchise tag him after that season. So even after his contract is gone and he played for us the entire 2020 season and reported to training camp and everything, the Redskins can still hold him hostage that way. I mean, Trent Williams literally has no leverage at this point with the new CBA. I mean, Trent Williams is out here basically asking for quarterback money, and teams that are even willing to give the Redskins the compensation that they want in a trade for Trent Williams are not willing to give Trent Williams that type of money per year. So something's gonna have to give, Trent, if you really like, if it's not just about the money, which it kind of seems like right now. It really seems like it's just all money and you just being petty. I don't know what it is exactly, but if you really want out of Washington that bad, you will ask for less money per year from your potential trade partners. That's your quickest way up out of here. The Redskins are not about to take pennies just to get you off the team, which I'm very happy about. Do not settle, Redskins. Ron Rivera, do not fold under pressure. Do not let Trent Williams win this battle. Y'all should not have to give up an all-pro tackle for crumbs and a bag of Skittles and some pocket lint just because he doesn't want to play for this team anymore. Even though everybody that he was mad at is gone, except for probably Dan Schneider, but he's publicly said that he doesn't have beef with Dan Schneider. So I'm still confused as to why he just hates the Redskins so much. Does he just want a brand new start in a new environment or something? Like, does he feel like Washington, D.C. just has bad juju on him or something? I mean, the way Vincent Taylor worded this quote, he really tried to make the Redskins look like the bad guy, when it's really their side that's holding up everything. The fact that he tried to structure the narrative like that is crazy. If I'm the Redskins, I'm not trading Trent Williams for anything less than a second, and that's point blank period. Especially since his trade value will be way higher in this coming October in the 2020 season, which is when everybody's trade value is at its highest, especially great veteran players. A team that really needs a tackle that's trying to make a playoff Super Bowl push is willing to give up more to get Trent Williams right before the trade deadline in October, once they realize they actually have a chance to make the playoffs and make a Super Bowl push, than they would before the draft, like the time we are in now, when who knows what's gonna happen during the season. But once those playoffs are like in view and within reach, Trent Williams' trade value goes up like crazy. And if we were to just wait till the trade deadline, whether he reported or not, we may even be able to get a first round pick out of him again, like what was offered last year and petty Bruceless Allen didn't take just because of ego war and all of that type of stuff. But the Browns honestly offered us their first round pick for Trent Williams October last year. And I wouldn't be surprised if a team or two comes out with a similar deal, at least a second, which we're not being offered right now. I mean, that boy Vincent Taylor literally just threw away all of Trent Williams' leverage with all of the moves they made over these past few months. I mean, you literally have one of two options. Play well for the Redskins this year, report, do everything you gotta do, and work as hard as you can and make the team that's gonna sign you to your next contract be willing to give you the money that you want. But just going off of what you did in 2018 and the drama you've caused since 2019, no team is willing to give you the money that you're asking for. With the injuries, the age, the drama, all of that. So your best bet right now is to just go ahead and accept the fact that you're about to play your heart out for the Redskins and work towards your next contract on like your last year prove it deal type of thing. And at the end of that contract, if you play very well and you still prefer not to stay with the Redskins, then I'm pretty sure a team will be willing to give you big money when we wrap right back around to this point in the offseason next year. Or option two, just accept the realistic market that's out there for you. Teams have been signing tackles left and right that aren't even as talented as you just because those tackles are just willing to take realistic money. People realize you have great talent, but they're not about to pay you all of this money with all of this risk that comes with it. So like I said earlier, if you really want out, you'd be willing to take way less money than you're asking for. I mean, it's really dark for you, Trent Williams, because everybody knows, including you have to know that there's just absolutely no way you can sit out this next season. It's just too much loss. You'll take fines, your season won't count, so you'll just be stuck in the same situation, same time next year, all of that type of stuff. There's no way you're sitting out, bruh. I mean, honestly, do you want $20 million a year or do you want to leave? I mean, honestly, is you wanting $20 million a year worth just staying on the Redskins and just only getting paid that $14.5 million that you're getting this year? Because we've clearly seen at this point that no team is willing to give you $20 million a year unless the Redskins bring down their asking price, which would just not make any sense for anybody but you and the team that's trading for you. How does that help us in Redskins Nation at all to bring that compensation asking price down? But I can easily see a scenario where Trent is stubborn enough to end up holding out, and we'll just end up having to trade him at that trade deadline when his trade value is the highest. And one of those tackle needy teams that's making a playoff push will end up wanting him. But as of right now, the teams that are most interested are obviously the Browns, of course, the Vikings, where you can go reunite with Kirk Cousins, and Jacksonville. If you like any of those places and you want to go to those teams, you gotta lower your asking price, man. You gotta lower the amount of money you're asking for per year in your next contract. It's like the same thing with Jadeveon Clowney right now. It's not the exact same situation, but there's clearly teams out there that want Jadeveon Clowney, but he's asking for $20 million a year also. And with him not being very dependable, injury-wise and consistency-wise on the field, when healthy, he's not signed to a team right now. He's still available, even though he has Pro Bowl edge rusher talent. Teams are getting smarter. They're not about to pay these players all of this money and they end up just not playing. Just like how this running back market is so terrible for the running backs. There's great running backs out here getting little money on their next contracts because when you sign a running back to their second contract, they tend to end up getting hurt or not being as good, and then the team ends up getting burnt. Teams are getting smarter, just all around, concerning the running backs, Jadeveon Clowney, Trent Williams. At this point, you can tell you're not about to finesse a team out of trading a second round pick or higher for you and giving you $20 million per year. I just hate how in the quote, like they really made it seem like it's not just all about money. Like that's the whole reason all of this is still going on. Trent Williams wants a certain amount of money. The Redskins aren't willing to give it to him. I'm assuming that's why he wants out. I don't think he hates the Redskins that much. I just think that the Redskins are not willing to give him all of the money that he's asking for. So he's making it seem like the Redskins are the bad guy and he wants out because of the culture or the people or whatever. And it's not just about money, but it's clearly about money.
Come on, son.
I mean, there's even recently been a report that came out today that the Browns said they would be willing to give the Redskins what they want as long as Trent Williams asks for a cheaper contract per year. Like I said earlier, the Browns are willing to make the trade if the Redskins take down their asking price or Trent Williams takes down his. There's no reason for the Redskins to take down theirs. So Trent Williams, if you really, really want to get out, you're going to have to take down yours. It's that simple. I mean, this is literally coming from the Browns organization saying this. At this point, until training camp happens, we're just going to watch and see which side folds, Trent Williams or Ron Rivera and the Redskins organization. Which side is just going to give up and be like, forget it, man. I'll just go ahead and give up and just let the other side win. If the Redskins do that, me and Redskins Nation will be highly upset. I mean, I know there's a few people out there that is just so disgusted with Trent Williams that they just want him off the team no matter what, even if we just release him. I think that that's a terrible idea.
Do not attach any association of this to me whatsoever.
We should easily be able to get a second round pick for him or higher at some point, or we're going to be able to get all pro level talent out of him on the field. It's either one. For me, it's a win-win as long as the Redskins just don't fold the bag. It's going to be up to Trent Williams to fold. It's literally only a matter of time. By the time training camp comes around, Trent Williams has to make a decision, and he's not going to like either decision. And all the Redskins have to do is just remain patient and just ignore all of this drama that him and his agent are putting out there until training camp comes, when it's doomsday for Trent Williams. I mean, Trent Williams, you have so many teams out there that want you, just not for all that money you asking for, son. Come on, dawg. Be realistic, bro. But alright, y'all, I just wanted to clear up that whole Trent Williams situation because I know a lot of people seemed confused on social media and all of that. They didn't exactly know what was going down. I know a lot of people didn't know the new CBA rules and all of that type of stuff. I just wanted to make sure I presented all of that information to y'all so y'all can form your own opinion on how the Redskins should deal with Trent Williams or what Trent Williams should do. Me personally, I've already told y'all throughout the entire video how I feel the Redskins need to handle this, but I'm very curious to see in the comments how y'all feel the Redskins should handle this and how Trent Williams should handle this situation. Make sure you like the video if you learned anything. If you liked it, please subscribe if you haven't. I have so many videos I'm coming out with. I'm like backtracked. I have so many ideas and videos I'm working on at the same time. I just need to get them out to y'all. But things like this that should be reported on immediately just get in the way. So I go ahead and do that, and then I get back to work on the other videos I'm working on. So I'm getting back to work. Expect that top 5 tight ends available in this draft to fill our huge needed tight end to come out next. Expect a similar video for the cornerback group as far as the draft goes to come out soon after that. And then the same videos I've been telling y'all about the past few videos I put out. The Eric Coryell offense, Redskins helmet designs and jerseys, and why the Redskins shouldn't and won't take Tua second overall. All those type of videos, I've been working on them, but other things like these videos get in the way. So I promise I will get those videos out to y'all. I appreciate all of the support and the patience. I'll catch y'all later. I'm out.